So moving on to number 11, what we're going to do is find the product of the two matrices. And you can do this by hand by multiplying rows by columns, but in this case, you've learned the calculator trick by now, so I would just go ahead and use that. That's what you're going to use on the ACT. So let me make sure I have a copy here of these matrices because I'm going to go to my calculator. So I'm going to go to, this is basically just a replica of the calculators that you guys use, the yellow ones, just the iPad version. So I'm going to go into matrix, so second x to the -1, and go over to edit. I'm going to make a 2 by 2 matrix. I'm just going to put my first matrix in here, so 3, -2, 0, and 1. Okay, so that's my first matrix. I'm going to go back in and make a second matrix called B. Okay, and I'm also going to make this a 2 by 2 matrix, which is going to be 1, -1, 1, and 1. So important thing here is go all the way out, so second mode to quit, and then go back into the matrix. So I'm going to put my first matrix A, and I'm going to multiply it, so just press times, A times, go back into my matrix, put the second matrix here, so matrix A times matrix B is going to give me 1, -5, 1, 1. And your answer is as well as that. So 1, -5, 1, 1. Boom, quick and easy. So number 12, how you do this, it says perform the operation. The operation here is addition. So what I'm going to do is just add like terms. I'm going to underline them as I go. So I've got x squared plus x squared here and x squared here. So I'm going to add those, and this is basically a 1. So -8x squared plus 1x squared is -7x squared. I'm going to switch my color here. What would come next is x, and right here I don't have any x's. So I've just got this x right here. So I'm just going to write it down. So plus 3x. And then in black here, I've got a 3 plus -8, which is going to give me -5. Okay. Number 13, a little typo, but it's okay. It says find the roots of the following. And there's multiple ways you can do this. You can use the quadratic formula, which I'll write down here if you want to use it that way. X equals -b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That is one way you could do it. And this 1 would be your a, -3 would be your b, and -40 would be your c. Or you could just factor this with the x method. So if I factor this, it adds to the middle number, -3, multiplies the last number, -40. Okay. And when I think about numbers that do that, I would have 8 and 5. And I want to add to a negative here. So I want to add to that -3. So 8 needs to be negative. So when I write this out, I'm going to have f of x equals x minus 8 and x plus 5. And when you're finding the roots, as it says here, all you're doing is setting the function equal to the 0 and solving. So basically, really, what you're doing is setting each one of these parentheses equal to 0 and solving, which ends up being that you're just going to flip the signs because parentheses are liars. We do not like parentheses around here. Okay, so my answers would be x equals 8 and x equals -5. Those are my roots. Then 14 says expand as a express as a trinomial. All that means when you see parentheses just beside each other here, that's telling you to multiply, and the way that we've learned to multiply is using the box method. If you want to double distribute, you want to use FOIL, that's totally okay. But I'm going to zero box method because that's what most of us use. So 2x minus 1, and then 3x minus 4, writing those across the top and the side. And you multiply what's on each side here to get what's in here. So I'm going to highlight it here. 2x times 3x is going to give me 6x squared. and you're kind of just going to go along that way. Okay, so let me rewrite this just so it's not as confusing. 2x, 3x, boom. So then 3x times -1 gives me -3x. 2x times -4 gives me -8x. -1 times 4 gives me +4. So the last step here is just to add the common term, the like terms, which is just my x's here. So I'm going to have 6x squared minus 11x plus 4. Okay, and last one for this video. It says fully simplify using only positive exponents. The way that I do this, okay, is first, worry about the numbers, okay? That's the easier part. Worrying about the numbers is the easier part. So right here, 21 over 35, okay? To simplify that, you can just do it in your head, or you can come over here to your calculator and type it in as a fraction, 21 over 35, and it'll fully simplify it for you. If it gives you a fraction like that, you can just go math, enter. So the simplified version of the numbers is 3/5. So I've got 3/5. To do my exponents here, I gotta remember my numbers. Okay, I gotta remember my rules. So I gotta remember my rules. When I'm dividing variables, I'm going to subtract their exponents. So when I divide, I just subtract exponents. So on this first one, I'm going to have x to the 4th and x to the 4th. So 4 minus 4 gives me 0. So there's no x's left. Okay, and then here I've got 6 minus 4, which gives me 2 for the y's. And there's more y's on top, so I'm going to have y squared on top.